Welcome. Once again, I am the teacher. Today I'm going to be speaking about the number 7, which stands for universal. 12 times 7 is 84. When you break that down, it's 3. Also got over here, 84 times 4 equals 336. Plus the 24, you get to 360. I'll break that down with the elders and so forth here in a minute. 7 times around the Kabbalah, 7 days, the 7th day, in the scripture, God rests. You got 7 days of Passover, 7 days that they allow the animals to get on Noah's Ark, the 7 seals, 7 days of the week. 7 is the beginning of one of the patterns of life, 753, 186, 429 here. I'm also going to break the 7 down as the position that the 7 takes in the first row. We know the 3, 6, and 9 always maintains its position. But the number 7, I always say that all the numbers is in relation to the number 2, which is us. And I'm going to show you how the number 7 is unique from all the other numbers and how it patterns itself after 2. And you look, when I would break this down, you will see the 4, the 1, and the 7 within that pattern. 144 times 7 is 1,008. 360 times 3 is 1,008. The God frequency, what they say is 963 hertz plus the 45, you get 108. I'm going to speak on all of this. I'm going to try to do it within a 30-minute time limit, as I always do. So, all of that being said, speaking on the beauty of the number 6, breaking it down, making it plain, is what I try to do. So, when you look at the number 7 as it is the number of universal, meaning that after you come from the understanding of the 6, your awareness, identifying your purpose, start thinking about bringing on your offspring and so forth. It's all about the understanding of what you are really working in, which is the universe. Everything then, when you're on the true path, you start taking a universal perspective. When you're saying, I am not a human being, I am a universal being. I don't need nothing to be defined to me because I live within a universe. I can create my own understanding of what I have, what I observe. I'm only interested in the preservation of life because that's all the universe is going to pay attention to anyway. It's life. You start coming out of this, for a lack of a better word, your avatar way of thinking, you have the knowledge of yourself now. You can deny that self and realize that you are, experiencing the one, that you are united with the consciousness of the one, and, that life and the beauty of life becomes what you focus on. So you are seeking what is, going to bring the environment that you are dealing with into the understanding of life. So 7 is a very key thing, very key understanding, because you are able to put all the codes together, universally speaking. You understand the method of things and why things are the way they are, and why things have to be in the code of 7. It's very, 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 very significant understanding in that. And once again, like I say, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 is what most people are aware of, that pattern of life. The next leading number of a pattern is 4, and we know 4 is balance. The next number is 7. And another thing about 7 is that 7 and 2 have the same patterns. Those are the numbers that have the exact same pattern. 7 and 2 have the same pattern. So if you add and multiply 2, you're going to get the same pattern that 7 gets. If y'all have worked lesson number 1, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And if you don't, well, that's just too bad. Work the lessons, and you'll understand what I'm talking about for it having the same pattern. And I would kind of point out to you on this one how 7 is so unique within the codes of life, of what you see up there. So the patterns of life, and then when you put them in the code of the form, you're able to see more of why the patterns are what they are, and why it's good to actually study that, so you can see the true fullness of life and stop treating life as it's just some, game and et cetera, et cetera. It's very complex, and it's a very beautiful gift for us to experience. And this is the reason why I'm making the videos. I'm just giving you some supreme understanding of what we call supreme mathematics, and so you can have a better understanding of what is going on in the world around you, as we call the external world. So 7 times around the Kaaba is a part of the Muslims' pilgrimage that they do. It's required. If you're a Muslim, do that once in your lifetime. There are other 7 methods or rituals that they do within there, like running between the mountains, and then I forget the name of the mountains, and the way that I pronounce things is going to probably come out wrong anyway. But and sometimes I know they throw 7 paddles at Satan as well. So God created you in 6 periods, and according to Scripture, on the 7th day He rests. 7 days of the Passover, and the book of Revelations, where they're breaking down the seals. Now, I got the 24 elders up there because I want to point out the significance. Now, the number 84 comes out to 7 times 12. Now, universal. Like I say, the universe is a 12 base, and our language is 10 base, where we live within the universe. Why 7 is considered universal, maybe I should have got into this more, but I'm not going to really get into this more until I get to the number 9 anyway. But 3, when you get to 84, you break down to 84, it is the number 3, because that's 12, and then 1 plus 2 equals 3. But when you look at the number 3 in that, and breaking that down, if you do 3 plus 4 equals 7. Well, when you get to the number 12, you're dealing with, when you're dealing with the universe, you're dealing with 4 keys. See, the 3, 6, and 9, those are the cycles of life that gets you into the motion to the 360 degrees. But when you want to come into, for a lack of a better word, full understanding, is when you get into the 12 base. But like I said, I'm only going to talk about the 10 base system right now. But when you start getting more, because 3 times 4 equals 12. And I may talk about that on one lecture one time, but it's not going to be on my series of breaking down the numbers 1, 2, 3. So I got 84 here, and then I times it by 4. Okay? It comes up to 336. The 24 elders are spoken in the book of Revelations. And this is a understanding of 84. Now, you look at 4 90-degree angles. 4 90-degree angles comes up to 360. 84 is, it is 6 degrees from 90 in each direction. There is a reason for that. Okay? If you put the 24 elders into the understanding of that, you come up to 360. So basically, right in the history, every 25,000 years cycle, I didn't put this on here, but every 25,000 years, we were writing history to cover the circumference of the planet Earth, what was going to be taking place on the planet Earth and the reality of planet Earth. Not within the universe, in the reality of planet Earth. And we were doing that from 66 trillion years ago until the last president of 15,000 years ago. So you have this. So the elders were involved in getting us up to the 360 degrees. I'm not going to have time to break all that down today, but within here, within this code, it's a lecture within a lecture within a lecture. We could speak on this throughout your lifetime, my lifetime, for me being present here. This is a never-ending cycle. This cycle went on for 66 trillion years. We can talk about that forever. Is the point that I am making. That is a very deep time that has been taking place. So once again, the universal number is 7. Now, you look at this code 1, code 2, code 3. Pay attention to the number 2 here. The distance between 2 to 7 is 1, 2, 3, 4. I'll put the 4 here. The distance between 7 and 2 is just 1. Either way you want to look at it. In front, back, side, what? I put the 1 here. Now the distance between 7 to the 2 here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Put the 7 here. So you see the difference, the distance between the 2 matches the sequence of 4, 7, and 1 when you put up the codes. At the same time, if you do the math, you will see 2 and 7 are linked, have the same pattern. So that makes 7 is our universal number, right? Because it takes us into the patterns of life. They got the same patterns of life, meaning we are universal beings. Because 7 means universal. So, like I said, if you work the lesson, you will see 2 and 7 has the same pattern. And that's what makes it universal. You know about the 144,000 in the books of Revelations. And you times that by 7 equals up 1,008. The 360, once again, 1,008. The God frequency, plus 45, plus the 45, plus the pattern, equals 1,008. When you look at 1,008, that is a number 9. It is but completion. Also, when you look at the first thing you're going to see you can bring them, take the zeros out, bring them together, and you get the number 18, which is the last number before the number 19, which the number 19 is the God frequency. So the number 7, and just in these brief patterns and points that I'm making here, the number 7 is very, very, very significant, and it incorporates so many of the other keys as you see. As you see, once again, you see the 24 elders, which is one of the keys of 6. You see the 3, 6, and 9 in it. You see that 12 divided by, times 7 is 84. You break down 84, you're going to get the 3. You get the cycles. Then you get the 144,000. You know, you get 999 when you break all of them numbers down. So once again, if you ever want to know something is true, or something that's going to take you into full understanding, and it will be a continual process, you're going to always see the 3, 6, and 9 appearing everywhere that there is to be. Now, what is the significance of us coming into the understanding of a universal being? Why? I mean, what's so important about that? You know, you have heard, like myself, the term alien. You know, people want to talk about the reptilians, or the Greys, etc., etc. Depends on what form of history that you want to speak upon, or where you get your historical information from. There are a lot of people who believe in aliens. Here's my here's the truth as far as aliens is concerned. Universally speaking, there is nothing in this universe that's an alien. There's no such thing as an alien to a universal being. This is the understanding that you have to come into. So, why are you calling them aliens in the first place, when the bottom line that they are life? So, when you are dealing with life-giving teachings, you can't say that you got life-giving teachings and then turn around that you got something that is foreign to what you are. Now, I'm speaking it on a technical sense, because like any other so-called word, it can have different meanings. You know, if somebody can say, well, something can be alien to my body because it's never been in my body before, so it's invading my body, so it is becoming a alien, and my immune system will go and try to destroy it, etc., etc. Whenever that process takes place, it takes place more from a lack of understanding for something that is coming into your body that you haven't prepared your body for as well. But it comes from a state of ignorance, because everything that is within, the only reason you're seeing it without, because it is already in you. And so you're only going to identify with life. And you say, well, you know, the cars ain't in me or any of this. Yeah, but the thought came from within. There's nothing that this so-called man is going to experience in this reality, in this realm, within this universe, that's not already in them or us. So life is already in us. And if you call him an alien life form, then he's already in you. He or she is already in you. Not only that, they are within a universe. They already part you. It's nothing alien to you in the universe, period. You are the universal being. You create your own reality. Your reality is what you perceive. That's your reality. Some of y'all realities, I don't have nothing to do with it. But reality is what you perceive it to be. That's the reality that you are dwelling in. Period. To some of these, when I'm speaking on the numbers, I have been studying these numbers for over 40-some years. Okay, so it's like how I speak on the numbers and relate it to everyday life, and which they are, and get the spiritual meaning from life. How this truth is. It doesn't belong to me. So when you're dealing with life, you are giving. Life is giving. You know, even if you want to look at some of these scientists' theories, but the Darwin theory, you know, it's all about using your senses to reproduce, some say. You know, whatever it's going to take for you to procreate, that's what your focus is to continue on that line of what you have been defined that you are. And I'm telling you that your senses are more to this, that. It is your best teacher. It is all about to be fruitful and to multiply, but you want to prepare the next generation for an innate understanding of what they need to do, what is coming that they need to prepare for. In my estimation, man has got away from that. Man doesn't preserve a future for the generations to come. Man has become individualized, and all he's interested in is his own salvation. He doesn't look at, other offsprings as part him. He's only interested in his own bloodline and his own offspring. Or he's only interested in his own race. You tell me, what is the race of life? Now, I know who was the so-called first race, okay? But the bottom line is that I'm only teaching life. So all life benefits from the truth. Period. You think you got free will in a sense, right? Okay. Either mathematics, either you do or you don't. Period. So if you consider not doing a choice, fine. I don't consider not doing a choice. Okay? Once I'm aware, I have to deal with what I'm aware. How I deal with it, okay. But when you are working with the one, I am in love and motivated by the one and the one only. I'm only really teaching you about the one because, he is the only one that is pronounced. I am not pronounced. That's why, once again, I'm only showing you the math. I am not showing you myself. Now, I will be on, like I said, I will be on some of my videos, especially if I'm having a conversation with, others. I will put, that within video. But when I'm talking about the root numbers and what is the thought behind that, what that number manifests, understand you are a universal being. You can call yourself an American. You can, if you're a warrior, you can die for your country, etc., etc., etc. But the universe The universal perspective is when all wars end. See, this is the Son of Man ends all wars. Because what's the point? We are living in a universe. All life is precious. You're going to want for your brother what you want for yourself. What is there to be jealous of when there's only one? How can I be jealous of you? Now, I can look at somebody and say, man, I wish I had that type of talent. But I'm not envious of that. I don't wish them harm. I don't want to, I don't kick myself for not that, for not being a certain way. This is the way the one wants me. That I always feel that way? No, but when you start growing into understanding, I am who the one wants me to be. Period. And I'm good with that. You might think I'm a sinful person. I don't care. I am who the one wants me to be. I'm more interested in giving my life and to giving what I know than sharing. I'm not trying to keep anything for myself because nothing belongs to me. Nothing belongs to me. I own nothing. In life, it's about the one. When we say all praise is due to Allah, or we say all praise is due to God, or all praise is due to the one, not saying that to exalt myself. I told my oldest daughter that she's the one who woke me up because she said daddy. And that changed my life forever. It got me more focused on everything that I love because now somebody's looking at me and she said, daddy? And that's a responsibility. Comes with that. So the universal number is 7. Us and the universe are one. We are universal beings. Our God is the God of the universe. The pronounced one set all of this in motion. And his universe is 7. Manifested by us. The universe is 12 base, but our language is 10 base. So if you want to say he's 2 ahead of us, but keep in mind that 12 is just 3. And it's a cycle of life. The keys he's given us as he's gave the Son of Man. Well, he said, I got the keys to hell and death, and I come quickly. Because we are universal beings, but all of our experiences, each and every one of us, is for the one. Because he is the only one that can times and remain himself. Once again, 1 times 1 times 1 times 1 times 1 equals 1. Thank you for listening.